This is my last apple slice. I'm sorry.
Oh no, there's no rush.
Are you doing apples and peanut butter?
Sunflower butter, but yes, very close.
I am not drinking a margarita out of this cup.
I'm sure you are. That's very on brand.
I am.
Yep.
Hot twist.
I knew it.
Oh man, good
Cissy
call.
without the margarita during a panel and/or podcast is would be a rarity.
Were you at that first romance panel?
I was supposed to moderate it, but I was sick. Remember, I got the flu.
That's right. You had the gonorrhea.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I spent that whole PAX in the bathtub, like just laying there in a coma.
It was my first panel ever at PAX Prime, and it was about romance in video games. And it was at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. And I didn't know anybody at the time. I didn't know Mylan. I had spoken with Ash once or twice. But I didn't know anybody, so I was like, well, I'm bringing tequila. So there was a moment where they're like, how do you get the chemistry between the two of you when you never meet? And I was like,
yeah, you whipped out the
Yoink.
huge bottle. It was good.
It was great.
It was very good.
Okay, one last thing. I'm going to get water, and then I am actually ready.
All right. I'm like super hydrated. I've got 3 just in case.
This is sitting at my desk, so
There you go.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun. This is gonna be a good time.
Good. I'm
Cheers.
not the only lush.
Yeah.
Listen, I worked at a whiskey bar for 3 years.
Oh, you muted
We just
yourself.
lost you. You just muted.
I did. Yes, I did. I touched it, and everything went wrong.
How dare you?
Don't do it.
Just talking about my love of whiskey. It's fine.
I love scotch. I'm a scotch girl.
I do love scotch. Scotch is
And bourbon. Yeah.
bourbon and rye are my least favorite, but I'll drink them.
I like that. That's good. It's good.
Oh, actually, let me turn off my air so it's not.
Yeah, everyone get prepped. Do some
Sorry,
stretches.
it's loud.
All right. We're good. We're good. We're
I'm
good.
good too. I think I'm ready. We'll wait for everyone to get back. I'm excited, you guys. Thank you guys so much for doing this, by the way. This is super exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm really glad we're able to pull it off.
Yes. I'll talk about it when we get started, kind of how this came together, because it's kind of funny. Are you guys ready?
Do it.
I'm just going to dive in. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Rated NA podcast, brought to you by NerdsVote. NerdsVote is a nonpartisan organization dedicated to getting all people involved in democracy.
Yeah.
Yes. Democracy is an important thing, and this may sound cheesy, but this is one of the rare times in human history where your vote can help save the world. Quite literally. Look out the window. No matter where you are in the United States, there's a lot of stuff going on that is not so great. And this is your opportunity to kind of get in there and help things change for the better. So there's going to be links.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Just save the world, guys. But there's going to be links in the show notes and links all over the place to NerdsVote and how you can get involved. And how are you guys? How's everybody doing?
Really good.
Yeah, really good. So this is okay. So I guess I should say how this all kind of came together. And then I'll do introductions and all that fun stuff and get a little professional. But I was literally pushing my son on the swing like 3 weeks ago. And I was thinking about how kind of helpless I felt about politics and like how I couldn't really, I felt like I couldn't really make an impact. And I started thinking, and then I started thinking about the things that I love and how passionate you guys are about change and fixing the world. And then I started thinking about literally all of you guys as individuals. And I was like, I feel like I should maybe try and get these casts together to talk about the games, but also, do it for NerdsVote to get, people in there to make these changes. Because if by our powers combined, like Captain Power style, or Captain Planet style, if we can actually get like one human in there that wasn't going to vote before just to get in there and vote, I think it's going to be a win.
Yeah.
Just one.
I recently did a video for a blog or a podcast called Mega Dads, who are also really trying to actively encourage people to vote. And I started researching the closest races in history. And there's literally, there was a woman who won her seat in the Virginia state delegate by 1 vote.
Wow.
She won it by one
Really?
vote.
Yeah.
And then Florida in 2000 with George W. Bush was won by a margin of like 36,000 votes out of 6 million cast. Like, and there are multiple races that it came down between 2 and 5 votes. There was one in Idaho, which is my home state, for state senate. So it matters. It really does. Like, I'm not just being hyperbolic here. It legitimately matters.
It really
And
does.
also because there's, obviously the presidential election is this year, but there are so many down ballot races. And as we
Yes.
have learned during this year, those
Important.
are, I mean, we wax poetic about it all the time, but those are so important. Like when you
So
look at what your
important.
city council actually does and what they control, especially if you follow the Black Lives Matter movement and the sort of changes that are being asked to be made on a local level, that can happen in your city council, that can happen with your district attorneys. And those are all people that you elect. And
sheriffs.
as sheriffs.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people, if you don't like someone in that position, they're there often because of apathy or lack of engagement. Like some sheriffs are just never voted out because they don't have anyone running against them and no one pays attention to those elections. So even if you feel really disillusioned on a federal level, your local level, your vote really, really counts. Even if you're in a blue state and you're like, well, I'm just throwing away my vote. You're not. You have propositions and you have local elections that are really, really important.
And judges. Like you get to vote on some of the judges. Those are big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
As we've seen, anytime Trump's done something completely bananas and there's a judge somewhere that blocks it, like, so.
Local hero.
It's a lot of power. And, one of the things I talk about all the time is people, since history was recorded, have been fighting for the opportunity to vote. And a lot of people in our country do have the ability to vote that just do not. And if you do, I would really urge you to use it because, like I said, you have a chance to really make a difference and save the world from a vortex.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we're going to do on this quote unquote very special episode. We are going to, I know Courtney Taylor was making fun of me for that, but it is super special because I'm a big fan of, obviously, of Life is Strange, and I'm a big fan of you guys as human beings. I think you're all fantastic people, and I've been talking to a lot of you guys for a very long time, and I love catching up with you and seeing what you're doing. So we're going to catch up for a bit. We got, like I was saying right before we started recording, we got hundreds of questions, comments, and shout outs from the community, from Reddit and from Twitter and all over the place. So we're going to dig into some of those and answer some questions. And at the end, if we have time, we might do a little Life is Strange reading from some copy from the Life is Strange game. So
what is this? If we have time.
if we have time.
Come on.
I know everyone is like, I gotta go. It's wild times. So let's go through and I'll do introductions now. We have the voice of Joyce, who's Cissy Jones. Hi, Cissy.
Hi, guys. How's
We
it
have
going?
the voice of Kate. Dayeanne Hutton's here.
Hello.
We have Chloe Price, who's Ashley Burch.
Hello.
And finally, Max, Hannah Telle. Hello, Hannah.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of you guys. Sissy, I just saw you like last week.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I know. So what have you guys been doing since quarantine started? Let's do just a quick catch up just to kind of see what your worlds are currently like and maybe some of the stuff that you're working on.
You sure you want to go there?
Well, it's important because I feel like a lot of people listening are going to be feeling the same way. And it's weird living in isolation and not really knowing what to do with yourself. So maybe you can give some people some tips on how to keep yourself sane.
I've been listen, I'm not gonna lie, it's been rough, but I've been spending a lot of time catching up with friends when I can. I've been meditating a lot more than I normally do. I've been trying to exercise more because I don't need the COVID-19. I don't know, just trying to survive. Honestly, some days are better than others. But I do find a lot of solace in my friendships, which honestly, the strength of my friendships has never been better, truly.
That's good.
And that counts for a lot.
That's good. I do feel like I have been keeping in touch with people better than I had before, which is strange. Just because I feel like there is this common bond that we're all sharing now, where we're all kind of going through something that's not so great. So not that we didn't have things to talk about before, but now it's like, oh man, I just want to see how everyone's doing and make sure everyone's doing all right. What about you, Day? What have you been doing, working on, etc.?
It was a little weird because my life didn't really change too much when things all first went down, because I was already streaming full-time from home and avoiding all social gatherings. So I've just been keeping on that Twitch life, and recently been taking a ton of Zoom voiceover classes, and I just signed up for one with Cissy.
Nice.
I saw her name and I was like, yes. Teach me.
I promise not to pick on you. I'm totally gonna pick on you.
That's great.
It would be an honor.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But yeah, and just we have done a few little we did a little Joshua Tree escape around no one, get out of LA for a second and that kind of thing, but
yeah,
just on the internet a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same here. Lots of internet life, that's for sure. What about you, Ash? What have you been doing?
Well, I'm lucky that voiceover has trucked along, so I've got my booth here, and I've been able to continue working on some projects that I started before the lockdown, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, like you guys, trying to stay in touch with friends and really trying to take it a day at a time. Just really trying to take it a day at a time. Because it's hard, it's hard, but also I have a lot in my life to be grateful for. So it sounds trite, but I am trying to focus on those things. And also I do have more time to do stuff like dress up in a child-sized USPS postal USPS Halloween costume and take weird pictures, and to focus a bit more on stuff like meditating or yoga or focusing, because right when the quarantine started, I was going to go into shooting for season 2 of Mythic Quest. So there was just a lot of stuff happening. So when everything shut down, it's been a sometimes not welcome opportunity to do some mental maintenance, to right. Get, sort of have some time to spend with myself and probably work on some stuff that maybe I didn't have the time to when I was just going. So that has been at times very hard, and then other times very nourishing. So
Ash, I also have to super commend you. I remember maybe a month into quarantine, you posted on Twitter and you were like, this is hard. I'm struggling. Who else? And it really let people be honest. Because I think there's the immediate, I have to be fine. If someone says, how are you doing? I have to say, I'm okay. How are you?
Mm-hmm.
But you really gave people a stage to say, this is hard.
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree. I remember that post as well. And it's a hard thing to admit. But it is. I mean, it's a very challenging, a lot of people, I'm a lot like Day. Like I don't go out much anymore. Like I take care of my kid and I work from home. I've worked from home for like 4 or 5 years now. So it's like nothing for me has changed all that much, but there's a lot of people that really, really cherish that social interaction that aren't having the opportunity to do so. So it's taking a pretty negative psychological toll on them, and it's really hard. So
yeah, I'm a social person. This is anyway.
Yeah.
Hannah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been interesting for me. I'm a full-time student at USC studying neuroscience, and so
whoa, I didn't know that. That's
wow.
So cool.
Right? Super casual.
Isn't that so
no big deal.
cool?
It's fine.
You're studying neuroscience? This is what this is about now.
I know, right?
You're just going to tell us about neuroscience.
I know. I want to learn stuff.
I still have a lot to learn. I still have I'm graduating next year. But I've just been doing online school, and then during the summer I had to study all summer. So it's been a blessing for me because I get really tempted during the summer to go to shows and listen to live music and have fun and like be with my friends, but that all was canceled, and the fun was canceled. I had a whole bunch. I was really worried this summer because I had a bunch of shows scheduled, not a bunch, but just a couple, which is a lot for me to play music, and that all was canceled. So I just studied. I've just been studying.
Good for you, though. That's fantastic.
Good for you, damn.
Yeah. And the new album is fantastic too. I listened to a bunch of that.
Oh,
So.
thank you so much.
And you're already releasing
neuroscience singer, actor. It's fine. It's fine.
You're already releasing like singles for the next one. I was like, she just released one. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Hey, I'm going to your Spotify right now.
Oh
my
so
god!
good.
Sure enough,
It's the perfect like road trip vibey, relaxing, just like hanging out music. I used to love driving and listening to it. I don't drive anymore.
Yeah, I've gone like 30 miles in the past 6 months.
My car has died in my driveway 4 times.
Oh, it happens. Yeah, I don't think my wife's car has moved since March, so I don't even want to know what's going on with it. It's just it probably has a tree growing through the center of it.
Oh, man.
Well, I could sit here and catch up with you guys all night, but let's go ahead and tackle some of these Life is Strange questions that we got from all over the world. And there's a lot of really beautiful shout outs here that I can't wait to read you guys. And one thing I'm going to do for everyone that submitted something, I put them all into a Google Doc, so I'm just going to email them all to you guys at the end too, if you just want to read all the nice things that people said about you. So if you did send something in, everyone's going to have an opportunity to read it. So there you go. So
that's so cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks everyone for submitting stuff. It was it made my job a lot easier. I was like, oh man, like curating all these questions when I get to them. I was like, oh, these are all just great. They're better than I could think of myself. So it saves me a lot of work. So this question is from Modred. Modred for Hannah. This is a really hard question. If you were in a situation where you had to save Day or Ashley from the apocalypse, who would you pick?
I'm gonna look away. I'm just not even gonna. Don't feel pressure. I don't even see you. Just point to the
Hannah's
box.
not gonna answer.
I know.
Not gonna answer.
I know. I had to put her on the spot for the first question. I just wanted to see her face with that question.
From a neuroscientific point of view.
I would just I don't know, sacrifice myself so that 2 people could live and only one person has to die.
See, I knew that was going to be your answer because over the years,
that'd be murder.
Yeah, no,
but I'd rather just die than murder.
I feel like Ashley would be more useful to you if you saved her. I'm gonna say it.
No. How about
no apocalyptic skills?
Oh, you think I do?
Is it
No. I can climb a wall that has colorful holes in it. That's what I can do.
Oh, wow.
You can also fit into a child-sized USPS costume.
That's true. I can't crawl into tiny spaces.
Right.
That is the one. I have like a weasel thing that I can do, maybe.
So there you go, Modred. Hannah is not going to pick anybody. She's going to sacrifice herself for the greater good. There you go. This next one is from Escherlat, and this is for everybody. What's your favorite song right now, or basically what music are you listening to?
Oh, that's a fun question.
Yeah, I think so.
What is my answer?
That's a hard one.
I've been shuffling my old Apple Music from ago, and it's been going from everything from like Method Man to Power Man 5000 to Manat to like tango music. I'm just like, I want all of it. I'm here for all of it. Give me good music. I'm set.
What about the rest of you guys?
I recently got all of the Stardew Valley soundtrack on vinyl.
There you go.
I've been jamming out to that.
Calming.
Yeah, as well as my friend Jack Garrett just released an album middle of quarantine, and I've been listening to his music as well.
Awesome. Gay music is always great. It's always playing.
Also Hamilton. I've been obsessed with Hamilton.
Yeah,
Nice.
as you should.
It's kind of strange to like, because I actually had tickets to see Hamilton in April. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I watched it when it came out on Disney Plus, and it's kind of strange to watch the birth of our nation with what's happening right now. It's this really weird, like, anyway.
No, I hear that. I definitely hear that. Anybody else? You guys
I
can
just-
pass if you want. You don't have to answer any of these.
I'll answer. I've just been listening to a bunch of strange new, like exotic psychedelic sounds from other countries, like this Turkish band called Altangun and a Japanese band called Kikagaku Moyo. I've been getting really into like unique instruments because I want to try to mimic that sound in my own music.
Hannah, you're so interesting. Every time I talk to you, there's like this extra layer that peels back, and you're like, Hannah, Telle, what's going on?
Hannah, that
You're so
I can't go after Hannah.
I know.
Sorry. God.
I know, right?
My answer is gonna sound. I mean, it's funny because I don't know if y'all have ever had this, but like when I would drive a lot in the before times, if I was really busy or there's like a lot on my mind, I couldn't listen to music. Like I would drive in silence because it was just too much. And so that is a little bit of what's happening right now. So when I listen to stuff, it's usually like classical just because it's soothing and it's only calming. I'm not listening to like anything that's like boisterous. It's mostly just like Claire de Lune on repeat.
That's a good answer. No, I mean, I was the same way for a long time too, driving. I'd had to kind of put on mellow stuff just because the place I was driving to was stressing me out so much I couldn't possibly listen to the music that I really wanted to listen to on the way. I needed something to like deflate me.
Mm-hmm.
I was a high school teacher for a long time. I don't know if you guys remember that, but like you don't want to drive to high school listening to metal and then get out and be like, oh my God, more agony. So that was a good one. He also had, or she, Escher Latt had a nice comment for you guys. Says, thank you so much for bringing these wonderful women to life. They mean more to me than other words can express. May you have beautiful lives filled with good moments and good friends.
Oh my God.
Wow,
That's
thank
so
you.
sweet.
Isn't that awesome? There's
So kind.
there's a lot like, I know. So the next one is from Jake Disney Fan. And Jake Disney Fan asks, how does it feel after 5 years of Life is Strange being released, going to conventions, meeting fans, going to panels, and to this day still seeing love for the story and your characters? Is it surreal or weird in a good way? What are your thoughts? What do you guys think? What is it like after 5 years?
Well, I could say for me, since it's the last VO job I booked, I'm all for it to keep being popular. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Let's keep this going because 5 years that's scary.
Yeah, 5 years. But Day, I've also been in the room where I did a panel with you a while back at PAX, and like I remember a bunch of guys rushing up to the stage at the end, and like you signed like their guitar and like took pictures with them. I mean, like that's got to feel really like Jake Disney Fan said, very surreal to have those sort of experiences, right?
Yeah, I mean it's surreal. I'm sure everyone here can speak to that. It's really interesting and weird because 99.9% of the time in my life, like strangers don't care who I am. And so it's really weird to like go into a room where people like know your work and appreciate it and want to talk to you about it. It's really cool. I had some of that as well with Emma Approved, the web series I did before Life is Strange, and got to go to some conventions for that as well. And like, it's weird because you're like, I'm not this important as you're making me feel right now. Like, I'm just a person. Like, what's happening?
Right. No, that's pretty fantastic. Anybody else?
I always love seeing the cosplay at cons and stuff like that, especially when I see Chloe and I'm like, call your mother! They're like, who's that broad?
That's so good.
I actually saw a Chloe. My partner and I were watching Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, which is a great show if you haven't seen it. and they go to a convention, and there's a Chloe walking around in the background. I was like, oh!
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so
great.
cool. That's so cool.
I usually see at least 2 or 3 every PAX I go to.
Mm-hmm.
GDC, well, GDC doesn't really have that, but like E3, Comic-Con,
Yeah.
the ones that we should have all been at. I usually always see a handful of Chloes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
Chloe's and
Form
Max or
into a
Chloe's
Chloe
and
army.
it's still wildly popular.
It's really, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to, I can't believe it's been 5 years. Holy cow. I mean, this game, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel like if I were to say this game means so much to all of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can
I
speak
feel
for
like,
all of us.
yeah, I feel like we put so much into the work we did on this game, and we fell in love with it, and all of the characters that we were interacting with, that we were playing, and it felt special to us when we were recording it. And it's one of those things where you're like, you don't know. I mean, there's so many things that are created that are glorious and beautiful, and they don't find their people. And so you never know when you're working on something, is this going to find its people? And the fact that Life is Strange did is really,
And continues
really amazing.
to.
What's that?
Yeah.
And continues to find
And
its
continues
people.
to, yeah.
I mean, that just never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think we started recording before I had kids. And
No way.
I think so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And
I think 6.5 years ago, I think is when 6.5, maybe 7 is when it first started, from what I
Maybe
understand.
Maybe I was pregnant, but I definitely didn't have a kid that I could have a conversation with. And it's been really interesting. You know, listen, I am loud, outspoken, confident. I have a super solid marriage. And Joyce is kind of the opposite of that. But having kids and going through what that entails, you know, I used to get all these questions of like, I can't believe she stayed with David, and how did she blah, 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 and why would she blah? And, you know, back then I was like, yeah, it's kind of a dumb choice for a character, but you know, whatever, they were the lines. I'm the dancing monkey. And then you get into the thing of like raising kids, and it's hard. I mean, Ash feels me on this. Ash Sevilla, you feel me on this. It is hard.
Yeah.
And every choice that you make, you second guess. And
Wow.
you start to see how a character like Joyce is not just a caricature, how she could actually be. And, you know, it's been really eye-opening for me in that front. And then the people that approach me for motherly advice I get, you know, hey, Joyce is the closest thing to a mother I've ever had. And I'm like, what?
Oh.
Come here. You know?
Yeah.
It's I mean, it still shakes the ground under my feet.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, Ash, I don't know if this is a long time ago. You first co-hosted this podcast with me 8 years ago.
Whoa.
Yes. I don't remember who I was 8 years ago, to be perfectly honest.
Me neither.
I know, but it was funny because I do remember bits and pieces that the conversations that we had, and we were talking about what it would feel like, because you had, I think, just voiced Tiny Tina. Like, I think that it was just like right out of the gate, right around that time. And I feel like you were so excited to really begin your career just as like a fan of video games. What has it been like now that, you know, you keep booking more and more and more? And what is it like? Like, what is it like to all of a sudden go from just being like video game nerd fan, making videos with her brother, to like all of a sudden like, holy shit, I'm in like Avengers, you know?
It's super fucking surreal.
Yeah.
Is really the answer to that. I mean, basically everything that's happened as a person that's loved games her entire life. I may have said this to you or Cissy or something at one point, but I remember I found a home movie of myself where I'm like barely able to walk, and I'm holding an NES controller that's not connected to anything, but I'm like waddling around holding. So it's literally been since I could fucking walk that I was like connected to video games. So honestly, the thing that comes up is that I'm like, I'm proud of the industry. I'm like proud of, because I'm thinking of like, man, 8 years ago, Last of Us didn't exist 8 years ago. You know, Horizon didn't exist. Firewatch didn't exist. Like there are so many things, so many monumental like industry shattering games that didn't exist before. Right. And to see the trajectory of games and how far they've come in terms of being like a cultural touchstone and people taking it seriously. And there's a fucking sitcom about games now that I'm in. And, you know what I mean? It's just really surreal.
Yeah, it's super
and
surreal.
It makes me really, it really fills my, like, it sounds cheesy, but it really fills my heart up because, you know, I've always loved games and games have not always loved me back in terms of representation, whether it's, you know, LGBTQ characters or female characters or characters of color, you know, and to see, and Life is Strange is a huge symbol of this, but to see how far games have come. And there would never have been a game 8 years ago that was just basically about two teenage girls like finding their way in the world. I know there's like the time travel mechanic and the mystery, but I think the reason that people resonate with it so much is because they see themselves in those characters. Yeah. And I can't honestly, like if I had a game like that when I was younger, like I think the reason that people have connected to it so much is that it makes them feel seen. And there's like a safety in it, you know, like
yeah, absolutely.
Kate and Chloe and Max and Joyce, like you're seeing it now, like Joyce is connected with people just based on their own experiences, even if they're not a mother or, you know, whatever it happens to be. So it really, it fills me with a lot of pride that I feel like games have really, I mean, we still have a ways to go, especially not, you know, representation in the game development community, not just the characters that we're putting into games, but it makes me feel really proud of how far we've come, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Well stated. Yeah, absolutely. And just as someone who's doing this show now like 10 years next month, which is ridiculous, but I've seen such a polar shift, like Ash is saying, in how much thought is being put into the narrative and also into VO in general and how important it is for casting and VO in games. And I think it's just great to see all the changes that have been taking place. So really, really great answers. So the next one is for Hannah. It says, you mentioned in interviews before how much you connected with Max while making the game. Do you still feel connected with Max 5 years later?
Yes, absolutely. Anytime I see anything on social media of a picture of her, or just anytime I see any kind of image from the game, it just brings it right back. And I remember being in that situation and feeling like this weight of needing to do a good job or else I would get replaced. And I felt like so close to her, and I wanted to do the best job that I could. And I still feel that I still feel all the emotions of what it was like to go through the recording, what it was like waiting for the games to come out, wondering if what people were going to say about them. And it's all like still very close to me. Yes.
Yeah. And here we are 5 years later, and there's, you know, people all over the world that are just like dying to hear what you guys have to say about it. So it's very cool. It's really cool to hear. He also, Relatable Rec, had a shout out for your album Hollow Glow. Says, thanks for making Hollow Glow. The album got me through my A levels.
Oh, that's so
cool.
Very
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, cool. So the next question is from Christo Mangoli. This is okay. So when I was a teacher, I'm like that Key and Peele skit. It was such a struggle for me, and I tried so hard. I would sit there and like study names and be like, okay, I'm gonna get this one right. First day of class, I would absolutely obliterate the name. So Christo, I apologize. I'd like to know if there could ever be a story where Rachel didn't die. How would this affect the relationship between Max and Chloe?
Okay, I have so many questions. Does this mean that Rachel would have disappeared, but then we would have found her? Would she have never have disappeared? Would she have been on the mission of figuring out who these, you know, what happened to the girls? Because there's, you know, I got lots of questions.
Right. Because the narrative would essentially be the same if she was missing up to the point where they found the evidence of her death. So that wouldn't change too much. But let's just say that she is not missing. She's still in the picture, and Max comes back.
Wow.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it might might change things pretty drastically. There would definitely be like, I guess for Chloe, she wouldn't have as big of a space in her life where she would need a friend like Max because she'd have Rachel. So I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah, I guess it also depends too on how Rachel would have, like, I wonder what Rachel's perspective on Max would be. Would Rachel be like, fuck her, she hasn't spoken to you in several years or whatever? Or would she have been like encouraging Chloe to reach out? Or I actually don't know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean,
I can't see them getting along though.
I don't think so.
It's like yin and yang. I mean, I feel like they're so different.
Yeah, I wonder if there would be a bit of that Chloe would feel torn between the two, maybe.
It's a good question. Thank you, Christo. I will not say your last name because I cannot say your last name, and I apologize for that. So this question's for Day. What was it like doing the recording on the rooftop? And this is from Herman. Herman wants to know, what was the recording on the rooftop like?
Well, it was a lot like walking in at 10 a.m. and being told you're jumping off a roof today. And me being like, excuse me? Okay. But it was really great. They brought Hannah in and we were able to do that together. So that was really special. I feel like I can't give the answer people always want for this because, like we all know, like we didn't get any information beforehand and like there was no preparing I could have done. And I feel like it's a disappointing answer to be just like, I found out and then was like, you know what it's like to be really sad? Okay, go.
Right.
Like we've all been really sad at some point, like maybe not to that extent, but we've all had feelings of doubt and we've all had feelings of like maybe feeling left out and maybe not necessarily bullied, but just like you're not fitting in and life isn't feeling great. And it was just about tapping into that and then getting to work off of Hannah and her amazingness.
Aw, that's
Oh,
awesome.
thanks, Day. I felt that way about you. You made my job easy.
That's good. We made each other's jobs easy. That's like ideal, right?
Yeah. That's a hard scene. I mean, that's a very, very heavy scene. And Day, I've talked to you about this before when I've had you on the show, but it's one of the few moments in my life where like I fucked up real bad and like answered the wrong way and you jumped and I literally leapt off the couch and just like slammed my Xbox off. I was like, nope, I'm gonna cheat like crazy.
And you're not the only person.
Oh yeah, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to let that happen because I felt so bad for your character because like I think like you were saying, a lot of us have been there where we've been at the bottom of the totem pole, picked on, bullied in situations we feel like we can't get out of. And the last thing I wanted to have happen in that game was for your character to have, a tragic ending. But it was, that was one of the moments for me as a player and a lover of the game that I was all of a sudden like, okay, like the stakes are real here. Like this is the real deal.
Yeah.
Things could go horribly wrong in this game unless I really pay attention to everything.
I really feel like that's the moment of the game where you're like, oh shit.
Oh, totally.
This game is gonna go places. Like it is gonna go there and I'm not gonna be ready for it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's honestly, it's funny because most of my IRL friends are like the ones that have played it are all the ones who like can't seem to figure out how to save me. I'm like, cool. I had a really good friend who's like, I've played it 3 times. Is it possible to save you? I'm like, yes, it is.
Oh, sometimes you just gotta cheat. Read the wiki.
Read the wiki.
You also had a shout out from a Matthew W. This is today. It says, Kate's my favorite character in the game. I just want to say that your voice acting for Kate is phenomenal and you truly bring the character to life.
Thank you, Matthew.
Matthew W. So this is from Zombie Warrior 88. He's got a question for Hannah. It says, who are your inspirations in life?
Oh.
In life? That's a hard one.
Wow. Wow.
This is gonna be a good answer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's gonna say her lizard.
You have a lizard?
I have 2 lizards.
You have like 20 animals.
Hannah, I've done 2 of these with you now, and I'm really genuinely upset that you have not just brought your lizards out as part of.
I could go get them if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lizard.
Lizards.
I'm not really sure who inspires me. I definitely have musical inspirations, and I definitely love certain actors and actresses like Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. But like when it comes to life, so to speak, it's probably not the answer people want. But I'm a Christian, and I think Jesus is like the ultimate hippie dude, and I believe he was a vegetarian, and I believe that he probably would have maybe smoked weed, and I'm on board with treating others the way you want to be treated, and really trying to give people the benefit of the doubt and allow them, if they've made mistakes in their life, to have a chance at forgiveness and redemption and starting over. So I'm all on board with a beautiful long-haired man.
It's a great answer.
Thanks.
And feel free to get your lizards at any time. We won't complain if the lizards make an appearance. Yeah.
We'll wait.
I can go if you guys want to keep going.
You're a lizard.
For real.
My favorite part of Zoom calls is getting to see people's pets.
Actually, she's got like 20 animals.
Really?
She has like a zoo. Yeah.
I've only seen the cat like wander about, but
She's got like 3 cats, 2 lizards, 6 fish. I think there's a mouse.
My dog's too old and tired to make an appearance. He's like, oh, he's in there talking again. I'm not going near him.
I respect.
I'm not going
I
anywhere.
relate to your dog.
Yeah. Too much talking.
I wish I could bring Dova, but I'm like not in the same house as her right now.
I have 2 cats, and I think Hannah, I've heard this already, but I can't let them. I love them, and I love them being around, but I can't let them in here because they think this booth is their massive scratching post.
Oh no!
So they'll fucking like scale it, like, and then they'll just be on top and like scratching around while I'm trying to record.
I used
This
to
is
have a whisperer
AAA.
like that too. Yeah.
Can you guys see him okay?
Yes. Whoa, he's so cool.
Is he a bearded dragon?
He is. His name is
Wow.
Eugene. He's about 3 years old. He's pretty long.
Look at that boy.
He's a good boy. He had a bath today, and I trimmed his nails, so this is perfect timing.
Oh, he's looking his best. He's fresh.
I know.
If I don't trim his nails, he's sharp as scratch.
Yeah, I was watching you sing to him in your Instagram stories. It reminded me of the lizards. It's like, oh, look, Hannah's singing to her lizard.
They're so cute to me. They make me so happy.
There you go.
I hope people in quarantine have like gotten pets, because if they're lonely, I think pets are the best.
They are the best. Zombie Warrior 88 also had a comment for you guys that I thought was really sweet. It says, I have a comment for everyone. Thank you for your positivity. I have strong depression and anxiety, and I take it day by day with my positivity. So thank you.
You're not alone, my friend.
Yeah, there's
Not
a
at
lot
all.
there's a lot of that. This is from Card Fighter Hunter. What has been the most inspirational or rewarding fan experience you've had as a result of being in Life History? Any standout moments from fan interactions or just life experiences in general? That's a hard one, because I'm sure you guys all have many. I'll give you guys a second to think.
I'm also just looking at Hannah's lizard.
Oh,
I don't know. They're all so unique. Like, I've only been to 2 conventions before in my life, and to meet people for the game, and every person that comes up is so different, and they all have such a strong, like, profound connection to the game, and you do the work and you're into it and it means a lot to you, but you never, I could never imagine like you know, like when you're a teenager or a young person and you have like that seminal album or that movie that just defines you, right? It's so hard for me to understand that for some people, that thing for them, this is what defines their being in this particular time in their life. And that is just like, it's just such a cool situation to be a part of that with someone else that you don't even know. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that's a really, I love that observation, because when you think about your defining moments of being a teenager or you know, even a preteen, and you think about the things that were so important to you and that really kind of became the fiber of who you are. Like I think about bands that really just like transformed my entire opinion of the world, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, Life is Strange is that for a lot of people all around the world. And like Ashley said earlier, you know, there's a lot of stuff about sexuality and gender and love that this may be their first time experiencing that in a narrative, or interacting with that in a narrative that I think is really pretty profound. So
I met a person at a con who had just went through gender reassignment surgery and chose the name Chloe because of this game. And you know,
that's gonna make me cry.
it was incredible. I mean, she went on and on about how this game gave her the strength and the, you know, the inspiration, and this, as soon as she decided to do the surgery, this was the only name she had.
wow, that's pretty fantastic.
That's incredible.
That's
For a game, like,
Yeah,
that's, I mean, it goes back to what you were just saying, is like, these aren't just the pew pew pew, I'm playing Duck Hunt, you know, like it's gone so much further than that. And I think that resonates every time we have a game like this, every time, and there's not many games like this, but every time there's a game that has a strong narrative with strong characters and a storyline that people can grasp onto, the reach is just unreal. It's just unreal.
yeah, I agree. I mean, and you know, video games, what the hell? Boy, have they changed.
Interactive, good friend.
It's pretty ridiculous. That was a great answer, guys. Thanks. So this is a question from, or actually this is just a comment from Connor M. Connor says, for Cissy, you truly captured the feeling of a caring, down-home kind of mother that I think we all desire in some way. Meaning, I think we desire a mom, not like we desire.
Hey, Joyce.
We desire.
I do have to say, I was always really confused as to why they wanted her to have a Southern accent.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay. But thank you.
You
That's
never
very
know.
nice.
That was a good one. Yeah. I'll save the Hannah question next. So this one is for Day, since Hannah's returning her lizard to the lizard lair.
Lizard lair.
Yeah. Day, this question is from Blackwell Ninja. Did playing Kate make you see mental health differently? And has it helped you in your own life?
Absolutely. I think I'm thinking timeline wise. I absolutely started getting more involved with like mental health awareness and advocacy because of it. And actually because Eric, at Square Enix, invited me to be on a panel that was about like suicide prevention and mental health, and they wanted him because of Life is Strange, but he was like, I'm just a social media guy, like, you do it, you're Kate. I was like, okay. And that was at TwitchCon, and I got to meet like Dr. B from Take This and some other people and streamers that were advocating for mental health awareness, and it put me on this path where like now I'm an ambassador for Take This, and I'm really open about my own mental health journey on my streams, and we like have check-ins and occasionally have like mental health talks of just like, how's everyone doing? It's okay to feel a little weird right now, like it's okay like to see a therapist, let's not think that that's wrong. And it's definitely made me more like, just not, I wouldn't say more aware of it, of mental health, but more aware of what I can do to spread awareness and end the stigma. Absolutely.
Awesome. Great
So
answer.
great.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's again wild, like video games, right? Like the impact that
I mean,
you know, the
so-
medium has is pretty amazing.
I have to give a shout out to BAFTA because they've been really trying to include games that might not be part of the larger, zeitgeist in a new category that they started called Games Beyond, and it's all about how different games can access something beyond just entertainment, right? So there's a whole series of games out there that help Alzheimer's patients, like help them reconnect the neural pathways to find their memory again. There's games out there that teach you what it feels like to be a person in a depressive state so that you can help a loved one who is in a depressive state. There are games that, go through all of these different mental exercises to help people who might not be affected by particular, thing understand what it is like to be affected by a particular thing. And it's really fascinating. I mean, if when the nominees are announced, if you go through the Games Beyond and see what they've got, it's incredible. It's really incredible.
That's cool. It is great that these larger organizations are starting to take games a little bit more seriously. But I feel like that's just a sign of the times as well. I feel like we were talking about earlier, they've changed so much in such a positive way, and the depth of the narrative and the issues that are addressed within video games, like Ashley was saying, it didn't really exist 8 years ago. Like, you would never have stories like the ones that are being told now, with such differing characters. So pretty cool stuff. This is going to be the last one before we do some reads. So this is for Hannah and Ashley. If you were in the place of Max and Chloe in the final moments,
how did I know?
It's always the question. I had to put it in here. What would you have done? Would you have done anything differently? It's a hard question.
I have my answer.
You don't have to. You don't have
I've
to.
been asked it before, but I always hesitate to say it because I don't want it to seem like canon.
Right.
So
not canon.
Preface, this is not canon. I know I played Chloe, but it's not canon. It's just my interpretation. But your interpretation is just as valid. So for me, Chloe is ready in that moment, as ready as she could be to be let go, basically. And she's completed her arc, whereas the beginning she feels alone and slighted, and there's I don't say self-centered in like a derisive way, but there's just a pain there that makes her feel like she's alone and no one's there for her. And then over the course of the game, she reconnects with Max. She learns about what happens to Rachel, and I think she gains a sense of safety and connection through reconnecting with Max, and then she gains a greater purpose. And I feel like in that moment, she's giving Max the choice, but really she's saying, let me go, is what I think. So to me, you gotta save the Bay. That's me though. That's
save
me,
the Bay.
Ashley. If you save Chloe, thanks.
Don't tweet me.
Yeah, but it's not canon. It's not canon. Hashtag it's not canon.
Yes. What about you, Hannah? Do you have a preference?
I used to be all about saving the Bay because I was, that's so many people. That's her mother. Like, how could they both live on after that? But then I sort of experienced like what I assume Max and Chloe might have felt in terms of that level of love. I've experienced that with another person, and I realized, if I were in that moment, there's no way I would sacrifice that person, or if it's just too tied. You're just tied to them too deeply. But I'm not sure. I guess it would be a really horrible struggle.
Yeah.
She would sacrifice herself so that
there you go. Sacrifice yourself. I saved Chloe. I had to do it. I couldn't.
I totally get it. I mean,
yeah,
look.
I couldn't do it.
Thanks.
Yeah. But, you're welcome. Oh wait, here's a question from Ash Sevilla. Okay, Ash Sevilla. So, would you guys be down to making a third-person cover shooter, Life is Strange, with explosives and cool superpowers?
Only if the
Yes.
pancakes explode.
Can I have like a lethal spray bottle of holy water? I'm so
Yes.
down.
Yes. I want to make this game with like some telekinesis, some pyrokinesis, a little bit of time travel mechanic. Hit LB to go back a couple seconds. You know?
I want the eggs to be grenades.
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Yes. Joyce throwing strips of bacon.
I feel like Max's ult would have to be her saying "ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra," and then she
Yeah.
like brrr, like making an earthquake happen or something.
She like fires hot dog man. She like fires Polaroids out of her hand.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're making this game
Like
now.
ninja
Right.
stars.
It's gonna be the worst game ever. But
It's the spinoff you didn't know you wanted.
yeah, you didn't
Oh
know you
my
wanted it. Oh, I love it. I just slid that one in there for selfish reasons. So I sent you guys in your emails scene from the Two Whales Diner. You should have it. It's a PDF. If you don't have it, I can send it again. But I thought it might be fun for the listeners to do this live. If you guys are comfortable doing so. If whoever's not comfortable doing so, I'll read their part and it'll be great.
I am
I
down.
kind of want to say I'm not comfortable. You have to read.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I want to see Ash as Chloe.
Ooh.
I did not rewatch the scenes though, so it has been 7 years since I've read
Oh,
these.
it's all good. I also thought it might be fun, if time permits, to have you guys swap characters and do it swapped at the end.
Oh boy,
Yes.
that is funny.
So let me know when you guys have it open.
I've got it open.
I've got it open.
All right.
Are you our narrator? Or should Day be our narrator?
Day will be the narrator. I'll do Foley. I'll do Foley.
Okay, great.
All right.
You tell me when, Ash.
Go
We
ahead,
just-
Day.
Two Whales Diner. Max enters the diner and sits down at the booth. Joyce walks over holding a pot of coffee.
And there she is, a lovely young woman. How you doing, Max?
Joyce pours coffee into the mug in front of Max.
Hi, Joyce. It's nice to see you again. You look the same.
Like I'm still a waitress at Two Whales Diner after all these years?
No, you still look pretty.
Nice save, kid. You're still smart. But I wish you'd been here to help save Chloe. She got busted yesterday, smoking out. Again.
I know. Chloe told me that her stepfather hit her.
I'm sorry. That was your introduction to David. I hope you get to know him on your terms, not Chloe's. He's a good man. He just...
Yeah, I'm sure he is since you married him, but don't be so harsh on Chloe.
It's good you're here. I was hoping you could be a good influence in her life now.
I will be. Promise. I know things were hard for you and Chloe. I feel bad I didn't call. Now my folks are in Seattle and I'm all alone at Blackwell. It's my karma.
Now, you did the right thing. You moved forward with your life. I did, after William passed. Chloe, well, Chloe chose to stay angry. Anyway, I hope we see more of you. Chloe needs an old friend again.
Joyce, I'm so sorry about William. I have great memories of him.
I'm glad, Max. That was his gift to us. Wonderful memories. Even if Chloe doesn't understand yet. I still can't believe you're a woman. When I look at pictures of Chloe, I just...
Chloe enters the diner.
Speak of the devil.
Mom and Max together again.
And Chloe looking for a free meal. You put your whole damn college fund on your tab.
I'm treating Chloe for breakfast.
No, you're not. This is my treat to you for coming back home to rescue my daughter. Oh, wait. Chloe.
Did you not hear that?
Oh.
No, it didn't.
Oh, my mic picked it up. Could you give me that line again? Sissy.
No, you're not. This is my treat to you for coming back to rescue my daughter.
Nobody needs to rescue me.
Unless you set your room on fire smoking out.
Oh my God, here it comes. Didn't you and Sergeant Pepper already read me the riot act last night?
Call him David if you don't want to be lectured. You only get one damn slice of bacon a day.
What?
Joyce returns to the kitchen to bring Chloe's breakfast.
You guys are still the same.
Oh, this town. What is this shit on the jukebox?
Chloe approaches the jukebox and changes the tune.
Now that that's out of the way,
Chloe jumps onto the seat across from Max.
let's talk about your superpower.
Yay! Applause.
Yay!
I found myself reading along when I should be like watching you guys. Like, what am I not watching? I guess I'll be watching this again later. That is so cool. That is so much fun.
It's really weird to be your mom, Ashley. Now that I know you, because I don't think I knew you when we were recording
we didn't know
this.
each other back then.
Yeah,
so
like I remember
fantastic.
meeting you at the Abrams holiday party, being like, "I'm your mom in the thing," and you're like,
Oh my
"Okay."
God, shit.
So good. Let's do a one swapperoo. Do you guys want to choose? Do you guys want to choose who you play?
You should cast.
I should
maybe.
cast. Okay. Oh man, this is hard.
You should
I
make
feel
Ashley
like
be my mom.
yeah, let's do that. Okay, that sounds perfect. This is
Okay,
brilliant.
I'm Joyce.
Yeah, you're Joyce.
I'm Chloe.
You're Chloe. Let's see. Max will be Day, right? And Hannah will be the narrator. Does that work?
Should we start from the top? Or where do we
Yes.
start from?
Yeah, let's start from the very top. Two Whales diner scene.
Great.
Two Whales diner scene. Max enters the diner and sits down at the booth. Joyce walks over, holding a pot of coffee.
Sorry, it's just so funny that I'm gonna be Sissy's mom. Okay. And there she is, a lovely young woman. How you doing, Max?
Joyce pours coffee into the mug in front of Max.
Hi, Joyce. It's nice to see you again. You look the same.
Like I'm still a waitress at Two Whales after all these years?
No, like you still look pretty.
Nice save, kid. You're still smart. But I wish you'd been here to help save Chloe. She got busted yesterday smoking out. Again.
I know. Chloe told me that her stepfather hit her.
I'm sorry that was your introduction to David. I hope you get to know him on your terms, not Chloe's. He's a good man. He's just...
Yeah, I'm sure he is, since you married him, but don't be so harsh on Chloe.
It's good you're here. I was hoping you could be a good influence in her life now.
I will be. Promise. I know things were hard for you and Chloe. I feel bad that I didn't call. Now my folks are in Seattle and I'm all alone at Blackwell. It's my karma.
You did the right thing. You moved forward with your life. I did after William passed on. Chloe, well, Chloe chose to stay angry. Anyway, I hope we see more of you. Chloe needs an old friend again.
Joyce, I'm so sorry about William. I have great memories of him.
I'm glad, Max. That was his gift to us. Wonderful memories. Even if Chloe doesn't understand yet. Still can't believe you're a woman. When I look at pictures of Chloe...
Chloe enters the diner.
Speak of the devil.
Mom and Max together again.
And Chloe, looking for a free meal. You put your whole damn college fund on your tab.
I'm treating Chloe for breakfast.
No, you're not. This is my treat to you for coming back to rescue my daughter.
Nobody needs to rescue me.
Unless you set your room on fire smoking out.
Oh God, here it comes. Didn't you and Sergeant Pepper already read me the riot act last night?
Call him David if you don't want to be lectured. You only get one damn slice of bacon a day.
Joyce returns to the kitchen to bring Chloe's breakfast.
You guys are still the same.
Another reason to blow this town. What is this shit on the jukebox?
Chloe approaches the jukebox and changes the tune.
Now that that's out of the way,
Chloe jumps onto the seat across from Max.
let's talk about your superpower.
Hey, and scene.
That was so weird.
That was so much fun. That's ridiculous.
I don't have to be the mom.
Oh, it is so good. Thank you guys. That was so
That was
fun.
awesome.
that was fun.
We are sadly starting to run out of time, but I wanted to thank you guys so much for hanging out, and this was an absolute blast. Let's go ahead and do our social media plugs, and then we'll do a social media plug for NerdsVote, who was kind enough to help bring everyone together. So starting with Cissy, where can people find you on social media?
I'm on the Twitters and Instagram at Cissy Speaks, and if you tag me in a post and send me a picture of your voter registration, we'll figure it out. I will send you a free headshot. Show me that you're registered to vote. I will send you a free headshot.
Very cool. Wow. Do I get one too? Can I have one?
Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome. Any stuff to plug other than other than social?
The Owl House on Disney. If you haven't watched that yet, it should be coming out on Disney Plus pretty soon. It's super fun.
I'm super stoked.
I am too. Call of the Sea is coming out sometime this year, which is a game that I think is going to be super cool. Another game next year called Forever Ago. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I don't know. There's stuff.
Cool.
I can't. I just go in and I read the words and I keep going.
Awesome. Day, what about yourself? Where can people find you?
Oh, people can find me at Dabraham_Lincoln at Twitch and Instagram. It's a DAYE because I like to be complicated, as well as Dayeanne Hutton at Twitter. And yeah, that's all of them, I think.
Awesome. What about you, Ash?
It's my name on the platforms that I'm on, Instagram and Twitter, I guess. And then watch Mythic Quest on Apple TV Plus.
Yay!
It's so good.
It is so good.
So good.
It's so real too. You ever spent any time in the studio? It's like, oh God, this is exactly what it's like. Hannah, what about yourself?
I'm just Hannah Telle on Twitter and Instagram, and hopefully we're gonna put out some new music sometime later this year, and a new album next year.
That's so fantastic. And yeah, your music's fantastic. So we'll have. I'm going to put links to your music in here too, because everyone should download it because it is next level good. It's very, very, very good.
Thank you so much.
And I am NerdAppropriate on Twitter. You can follow me there. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, nerds@nerdappropriate.com. And we do a show, I don't know, almost every week still, as much as we can.
10 years.
Yeah, as much as we can. It's a lot of fun, and some new shows on the horizon that I will be announcing soon that I'm very excited about. So we'll be talking about that soon. And big shout out for NerdsVote for helping me wrangle all these fine folks together. And we'll have links to all of their socials, as well as how you can register to vote and be prepared for this upcoming election, and also just be prepared for the rest of your life as a voter. So shout out to them as well. Thank you guys so much. You guys are all honestly fantastic human beings, and I very much appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks everyone for sending in questions and comments.
Yes, thanks to everyone. See you soon. I'm just hitting stop.